all the different kind of wording that people have to get used to when you're going flip-flopping from US to UK.
I can tell you in metric, not imperial, but
So outside of the box from what we normally see in the US, especially.
One of the main challenges, I think, which is a blessing and a curse, is the internet. It's expensive. You have to pay the person, not a machine.
Hello everyone, I'm Nadine and welcome to Design Discussions with Nadine. I am in London right now and I am in Drummonds showroom. I'm here with James. He's the creative director here. At least that's one of your titles that you mentioned.
Thank you.
I absolutely love Drummonds. I found them a few years ago on one of my trips here to London. And I want to talk to you about the company and what you guys do and what makes you guys so special. So thank you for sitting down with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and visiting us in London. And I would love to tell you a bit about Drummonds. So we're pretty unique as a business. We still view ourselves, and have done for many years, as a really small independent retailer, but we're also a manufacturer. So we make our full collection. We make beautiful cast iron bathtubs. We make beautiful brass fittings. In England, we call them taps. You call them faucets.
Yes.
We make showers. We make heated towel rails and other such things. And we make vanities, consoles, and chinaware. And hopefully in the near future in the US, we'll be introducing water closets or toilets, WCs.
All the different kind of wording that people have to get used to when you're going flip-flopping from US to UK. I know sometimes people are, what was that? But speaking of the US, what inspired you guys to get into the US market, opening a showroom in New York?
So our evolution at Drummonds has been really driven by our sort of fascination with manufacturing, and mine in particular, quality and design. And in that journey, we have always loved obsessing about, obviously every brand would say they make the best, but we go, what is timeless in its design? What is classic, but what is also really robust in its quality and in its manufacturing? And amazingly, looking at the US, we found that some of the regulations and approvals were at a really high level and quite attractive to us because it helped us improve our designs and our manufacturing. So not only did we realize that there were some levels, almost raising the bar in terms of water usage and lack of lead in brass, where this is going back over the years, but also we found that the synergy of the design aesthetics in the US was in alignment with ourselves. The US market loved classic products. They loved the robustness, slightly chunky, well-made things. So it seemed a very natural fit for us to open the door and enter the US market.
Let's back up a little bit more and talk about the start of Drummonds, how it got started. How long have you guys been in business? To give people an idea. I know we talked a little bit earlier about how people think that it's been hundreds of year old company,
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
Yeah, so we started off as an architectural antiques company. What that means is that we were founded by Drummond Shaw, who was passionate about classic designs and beautifully made products. And he was refurbing his house in the 80s, and he wanted to have beautiful pieces and realized that the modern offering was pretty substandard. So he was renovating and buying renovated original pieces. He was also looking and sourcing beautiful original pieces, not just bathrooms, flooring, fireplaces, door furniture, the whole emporium of a house. And we have some amazing stories. We bought this amazing house in the north of England that had been destroyed by fire and had stonemasons recarve bricks and recreate it. An architect labeled the whole thing, and it was disassembled and brought back to the UK. We actually sold it in the end to a client in Japan to put next to his football stadium. So we have these amazing stories, and we have some fantastic clients from the early days who come around and they would be buying door furniture, flooring, fireplaces, but also the original bathrooms and the original baths and beautiful pieces. And we then found that we were restoring these because a lot of old bathroom pieces wouldn't quite work as they should. And from doing that, we ended up to to realize that we had to start making. And some of the pieces we found were so unique. We have this amazing plunger waste system, which you'll see in the showroom. And it's this sort of cylindrical tube that stands out of the bath and takes care of the drainage and also the overflow, and it's a complete combined unit. And we thought, well, that's so cool. Why would you not have something like that in your house? So that has stayed in our range. And we have some really unique shower heads that's a mold of 3-in-1 and shamrock designs.
Yeah, so, some very amazing things. Every time I step in here, I'm like, wow, that is different and new. And of course, so outside of the box from what we normally see in the US, especially. And that's what I love about you guys too, is not only the longevity of the products, because it's such good quality, it's not the same run-of-the-mill things that people see every day.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's been also one of our challenges, because as a small business, we don't go through feasibility models and value engineering. We go, wow, that's amazing. How can we do something even better? Or how can we do that? Some of our tubs, our bathtubs, are enormous. I can tell you in metric, not imperial, but they're 2 meter long, massive baths. And in doing it, we wanted to cast our baths. So we use cast iron. We wanted to hand pour. It's an area I haven't really touched on, but everything we do is handmade because of the beauty in the artisanal techniques of hand making products. It gets the quality. But we also realized with the bathtubs, for example, that the traditional way of enameling them was the best. We take a cast bath, we clean it down, we shot blast it, we put it into a furnace after it's cast till it's glowing red hot, and then we sprinkle on the enamel, which is glass powder, by hand, and it fuses into the bath. So the enamel is joined into the cast iron, and it's so robust and durable. Our baths are there for the lifetime.
So no worries of chipping or, because a lot of people have that concern. I know Nick was explaining a little bit about that process, and that's quite amazing.
Yeah, so they certainly will last a lifetime. And we have had customers tell us that they've moved house and taken their tub with them. And in a way, that's a real shame, because we're losing repeat business. But of course, you want the products to last. And with everything, if looked after, they will absolutely last a lifetime.
What would you say are some of the challenges that you guys have as far as, of course, there's what you would call competition, which, when you have such a great high-end handmade product, you can't really compare yourselves to others that do similar things, because it's just different, right? But what would you say is some of the challenges that you guys have working in this industry?
So one of the main challenges, I think, which is a blessing and a curse, is the internet. The internet makes shopping so easy to people, which is essential in nearly everyday lives. But when you're making a lifetime purchase decision, or you're relying on your designer to buy the very highest quality for functionality and use, you really need to know that what you're buying is of that quality. And the internet can be really challenging, because lots of brands do put out a beautiful image. Even these days with CGI, it's very hard from an image to understand quality. And so sometimes people are solely focused on price, and they look at something and go, oh, I can buy it a little bit cheaper somewhere else. So it's hard for us to educate the customer that the quality and the time involved is where the product stands alone.
And I 100% agree with that as a builder, that sometimes when it comes to shower fixtures and sink fixtures, it's very hard to get people to understand. You might spend $2,000 on a fixture, or you can spend $100 on a fixture. It's not the same. You're going to be, especially the valves and things, you're going to be replacing those at some point soon. Some customers understand, but some people don't.
Yeah, absolutely. The cost of a valve from us that we wholesale price is sometimes more expensive than some people are retailing. Oh. So it is that's age-old adage that, you pay for what you get. So that's probably the main challenge. And the other challenge we have in our business is hand making products. It's expensive. You have to pay the person, not a machine, and you have to make small batches. So we sort of fire small batches of clay. We cast in small batches of brassware. So we're all about that artisanal manufacturing technique, which is a challenge. It's a challenge if you have someone needing something really soon, or someone wanting a lot of product.
Yeah, amazing. Now, you have some new products that you were showing us around earlier. Let's talk about those. You can pick a couple that you'd like to talk about, and we'll show them so everybody can see some of the amazing new products that you have.
So sometimes we design by need, if a customer needs a product. Sometimes we design by inspiration. And sometimes on a lesser occasion, we're very fortunate to collaborate with a designer. Last year, Stephen Gambrell's collaboration, who I'm sure is very well known in the US, with us was amazing. He came to us and we talked over time about what is beautiful in terms of accessories in a bathroom, and no stone was left unturned in a way. The designs he has created for us are absolutely incredible in quality, and you must pick up a bath rack later on just to see.
He showed it to us earlier, yeah, and I said, that's amazing because so many people like those bath racks, but the ones that you typically see are, wood or something very thin, and I would never even put one of those in my tub because I would feel like it's just, you're going to knock it over, but those are pretty substantial. So those are nice.
It's very much a Drummonds piece that this is made to last. You can feel it. And it's one of the few pieces you pick up, obviously, in a bathroom. So you can see the whole process and why it's special. And so Stephen's got some beautiful collected pieces in our range that you can see. And very recently, literally on Monday this week, we launched a new collaboration with Nicola Harding. Nicola is an amazing English interior designer.
Which is right over there.
Right over here. Vanity cabinets, new for us. We've never done the timber around the bathroom. And I've known Nicola for a long, long time. We're old friends through the industry. And she's been working with Drummonds and has the most beautiful design sensibility about her. She layers colors and techniques and materials and has this really lovely feel about her spaces. And the cabinetry she's designed with Drummonds is very special. We have beautiful brass kick plates under the cabinet. The handles are slightly Art Deco. And of course, the marble detailing and the rounded edges of the cabinets are stunning. But then her color is the next level. She has a suggested color range with beautiful internal and external drawers and blending the colors. So it's quite a lovely opportunity to show some different pieces.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for the information. It's always lovely to see what you guys have that's new and just see all of the beautiful things. And thank you again for sitting with me. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Until then, stay tuned for the next episode.